I shall just move. Okay, I will do this. Okay. Sorry for that. The outline of the presentation is I will give some brief introduction to Indian agriculture, then move to research questions, methods, Punjab agriculture in terms of its achievements and challenges. Then I shall move to current agriculture extension setup in Punjab and results and the conclusions in the end. Before I start my presentation, I want to read out a Chinese book. If you're planning for a year, sow rice. If you're planning for a decade, plant trees. If you're planning for a lifetime, you have to educate people. Additionally, this proverb is endorsed by some studies by Lockheed, Jamieson, and Liu. India is one of the fast growing Asian countries in terms of economic growth and income levels. The overall economic rate, which rose from 4.4% in 1970s to 9.5 in 2005 after the economic liberalization in 90s. But after 2007, if you see, it plummeted to 7% only. But if you see the agricultural growth rate, it came down drastically from it went up in the Green Revolution period, but it came down to again 1.5% in the recent past. And the share of agriculture in GDP have come down from 42% to 1.5% in the last 40 years. Though one of the feature of the economic development model suggests that it should come down with the development. But unfortunately here the dependency on agriculture among rural people did not reduce, since the rural people do not have the required skill set for industry and the service sector. The research questions include defining the current state of agriculture sustainability in Punjab with a special emphasis on assessing the role of current extension system and making workable solutions or suggestions to make it more demand or need or farmer orientation rather than just disseminating of technology as it happened in the Green Revolution days with the travel and pension programs. I interviewed 120 farmers across Punjab covering 3 major agroclimatic zones. I used the stratified and purposive sampling techniques in combination, and all the interviews were recorded with video camera. To select the district and blocks, I used farming intensity index based on main indicators of agriculture sustainability like per hectare productivity in value terms, the level of underground water table, the soil health, and the crop diversification index. To select villages, I consulted the extension workers of the blocks concerned, since the data, agriculture data on the villages was not available on this country basis. 2 villages were selected from each block and 20 farmers from each village, representing by and large the current land holding distribution in the state. As per the current census that was conducted in 2011, the population of Punjab is 27 million with 66% rural population. Historically, Punjab had been having the highest per capita income in India, but in the recent past, came down to third or fourth position. However, it still has the lowest poverty ratio in India. About 83% of area is under cultivation. Most of it is irrigated with average land holding of 4 hectare, where the average land holding in India is only 1 hectare. Punjab is known for agriculture. Despite being small in terms of area, Punjab produces about 20% of wheat, 11% of rice, and 12% of cotton in India. And it is the largest contributor of food grains to the central food that is kept for public distribution system. It raised its cropping intensity from 126% in 1960s to 190 in 2009, where it is only 135 at all India level. Punjab has been a model of agriculture development with highest productivity levels in wheat and rice, especially, and number of tractors and tubers. The current challenges include green revolution in mid 1960s can be viewed as a mixed blessing in case of Punjab because it led to monocropping, establishing wheat rice cropping pattern as the main cropping pattern in many parts of Punjab in the post-green revolution period. As a result, the crop diversification index in Punjab dropped from 0.75 in 1975-76 to 0.58 in 2006-7. Additionally, the monocropping has led to loss of micro as well as micronutrients as suggested by some studies by the State University in 2007. More than 100 blocks out of 138 total have experienced depletion of underground water table. That is the biggest issue in Punjab in terms of agricultural sustainability. Farmers have experiencing a sharp decline in net farm profitability due to stagnated yields of main crops and increased cost of cultivation since early 90s. It was very good until 90s. According to some recent studies by National Sample Survey Organization, around 65% of the farmers in Punjab are under debt, as compared to 48% at national level, with per capita debt of rupees 41,000 something, which is 4 times of the national level figure. Therefore, to conclude, Punjab economy in general and agriculture in particular are under a serious economic crisis. As far as the extension setup in Punjab is concerned, it is provided by mainly 2 institutions. One is the Punjab Agriculture University, that is the state agriculture, that controls the KVKs and FASS. But the main extension is provided by the Department of Agriculture. The ATMA model, which came into India in 1998 till 2002 and then spread across India to all districts. It is supported by the World Bank. It show positive results, but not benefiting largely to the marginal and small farmers who badly need it. On an average, there is one extension worker per 1,000 or 1,200 landholders, which is not sufficient. This shortage is due to insufficient financial support from the state government. So the level of education among farmers in Punjab, based on the survey, is, if you see the colored ones, it accounts for around 80%. 80% of the farmers are poorly educated, who can't understand the meaning of sustainability. Otherwise, as I think, sustainability is a very complex phenomenon. educated farmers manage to earn more annual net profits than the farmers, even with larger land holdings. It established the fact that there is a significant correlation between the level of education and the farm productivity. About 57% of the farmers did not receive any type of extension services. Only 26% farmers confirmed that they are served by some extension agency. The other 18% farmers reported that extension workers visit only to the large or well-connected influential farmers like village heads or relatives of politicians or government officials. Therefore, there is a virtual collapse of extension services in Punjab. Here are some comments. These comments are self-explanatory, but collectively they suggest that the extension is not playing the role it should play. The PAU, the main extension agency in Punjab, more than 30% of the farmers stated that PAU is not contributing much nowadays, whereas 30% of the farmers collectively consider that PAU benefits only to educated ones who are well connected and visit university rather than common small and marginal farmers. Therefore, the role of PAU towards solving the issue of sustainability has become very limited in the post-green revolution era. There are some comments about the PAU, role of PAU in extension services. These comments suggest that PAU extension activities need revisiting them in terms of their objectives. Farmer fairs is one of the major activity by the PAU Ludhiana, but more than 50% of the farmers visited these farm fairs to get seeds only. About 42% visited to see the new farm machinery and experiments. Very few went to get farm literature or to discuss issues with experts. Therefore, these seeds are the main attraction of these farmer fairs, which can be distributed through some other mechanism, like through cooperative societies already running in the villages. Again, there are some comments about these farmer fairs. The very important comment is, if there is no seed at the farmer fairs, only 5% farmers will visit. So it needs some thought to revisit these, the organization of these farmer fairs. Though farmers use multiple sources of information while making their decisions about fertilizer usage, but 58% of the farmers use their own experience. Only 7% of the farmers consulted the local extension workers. In case of pesticides, about 56% consulted the pesticide dealers rather than the extension people. Therefore, a large number of poorly educated farmers depend on pesticide dealers who mean business only. So the study concluded that Punjab agriculture is under a socio-economic crisis and the extension services do not reach to a large number of farmers, especially marginal and small. Therefore, the extension setup needs some improvements in terms of merging of all extension agencies, opening up for farm management schools at a local level with a robust marketing information system. Crop-specific tailor-made courses can be started to help sustain the rural livelihood and long-term agricultural sustainability of the state. And the crop diversification in Punjab needs a long-term policy framework for agriculture at state as well as the national level. Thanks a lot to listening to me, and